person. It's a smaller group tonight because we've got a lot of people traveling, lots of awesome stuff going on. But we've got Ryan, we've got Magnolia, we've got Sailor, we've got Becca, we've got Austin, and for the first time ever, we have Maddie Johnson in the house. Make some noise, you guys. That was good. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. So tonight, as you guys are listening in online, we will get to you guys in just a second. We are currently getting some slushies for everybody. So our person that mans the computer, producer Andrea, will be back in just a minute to get you guys hooked up. But we are playing an emoji battle tonight. Now here's how this game works. There are going to be, let's go ahead and do the first one, the test one, Austin. There's going to be a series of emojis, and you have to guess what Bible story it's referring to. So the first person that figures it out, just shout it out for this first one. There's an island.
Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve, exactly right. Nice job, Ryan. So you guys see that, right? There's paradise, I think is what they're going for. You've got a guy and a girl that are definitely together, definitely an item. There's a snake, an apple, and then what happens when they ate the apple?
They die.
You will surely die. So that's the game tonight. We are not going to do guys against girls. We are going to do, we're going to do Ryan and Maddie against Magnolia and Sailor. Got it? So you're going to have a turn each, and then we'll do a whole bunch of rounds. So Magnolia, you're going to be going up against Ryan. Sailor, you're going to be going up against Maddie, and then we'll mix it up a little bit if one of the teams starts blowing everybody out. And Becca, you are here to bring the energy and be awesome moral support.
All right.
Woo! All right, so Ryan, Magnolia, can you guys come down to the front of the stage? I lost my mask. There it is. Found it. So, Ryan, you're going to take a look at that screen right there. Magnolia, you're going to look at that screen right there. We should maybe have there be a prize for the winning team, right? Like maybe the losing team has to watch the winning team enjoy their slushies until they're gone. Like completely finishes their slushie and then the losing team can get their slushies. Is that a pretty good prize? No,
because then some of them might melt.
That's true. All right, well, let's jump into it. Ryan, shout it out when you know it. Magnolia, shout it out over here.
Should we do like a buzzer?
3, we don't have one because it would be, I would touch it, he would touch it, she would touch it, and then we'd have to wipe it down all the time. Shout it out when you know it. Let's go. It's an angel, a message. He looks like he's running. Maybe a lot of wind or a...
What would it?
And then there's a giant fish. What could it be? Maybe it's a fish, maybe it's a whale. Do you think maybe the angel gave that guy a message or something? And then he ended up in the fish?
Oh no, I know this. I know what it is. I just forgot what it's called.
What's the prophet's name?
Uh,
Jonah is right. Wow, that was a tricky
so
one.
painful.
Jonah and the whale. Nice job, team number one with some points. Way to go. And Brian, you can go back to your seat. So, we are ready for question number 2. Maddie, you can come on up. Sailor, you can come on up. And you guys can actually sit a lot closer if you want to, because then you won't have to walk as far when you come up here. Maddie, you can look at this screen over here. Sailor, you can look at this screen over here. Shout it out when you know it. We are ready to go. What story? Oh.
the Ten Commandments.
Boom, the 10 Commandments is correct, right? Yes, the 10 Commandments. Sailor with another point for team number 1. It is 2-0. Nice job. Nice job. We are back up. Magnolia against Ryan. Now, team number 2. Here's the thing. We got to step our game up, okay? We're getting shut out right now, but that doesn't mean anything. It's a long game. We've got a lot of questions. I believe in you guys. I believe that you can do this. Here we go. Oh.
Burning bush.
Burning bush. She was so quick on that one. Nice job, Magnolia. Absolutely crushing it. Nice job, team number 1. Sailor, you are up again. Ryan, who just went? Ryan just went. Maddie against Sailor. Wow, that was impressive. Yeah, we did this game at Saltco on Sunday, right, Austin?
Yeah.
How long did it take Saltco to get that one? It was like 6, yeah. And we'll say that was 2 seconds. So you were like 500,000% better than the high schoolers on Sunday. So nice job, Magnolia. Nice job. All right, there's a lot of emojis on this one. Lots of them. So let's see what you guys got. Noah and the Ark, they are crushing it. My goodness. That was so fast. There was a rainbow, 2 dogs, 40 days. It rained, and then there was the olive branch and the dove. All right. It is now 4-0. Ryan, if you don't get this one right, we're going to mix up teams. Actually, we're going to bring Becca onto your guys' team, and she's gonna mix it up. Let's see what we got here. Oh, this one was a tricky one. This one is really tricky. Maybe if this ring was actually made out of gold.
Oh wait, the golden calf.
The golden calf is correct. Ryan, nice job. I had to give you guys a hint because this is actually not gold, right? That's very, very silver. So anyway, Becca, you're going to come on down. You are going to go up against Sailor. Sailor against Becca. We're going to see how we do. It is currently 4-1. Let's see. This one is a bonus. Oh, bonus points if you get this one. And just kidding, no bonus. It's just a normal question. Nice, Becca, crushing it. 4-2. Sailor was like, it was on the tip of her tongue. Where are we at? Is it Maddie or is it Ryan?
It's me.
Maddie, here we go. You got this. I believe in you. You're going up against Magnolia. Magnolia was undefeated until the last time she was up here, so you've got this. I believe in you. Do you believe in yourself?
Depends.
That's fair. Here we go. Next round.
Moses and the 3 men in the burning thing with the. I know the story. It's when the lion's dinner, not the lion's.
Oh, you're so close. You're so close.
When the 3 guys are trapped in the bush, the fire pit.
Boom. We're going to take that. It is Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They get thrown into the furnace, and then they get rescued by God. That was a great job, Maddie. Nice job. It is, what is it now, 4-3? Guys, they are making a comeback. How many questions do we have left up there, Austin? 2 questions left. How perfect is that? All right. It is Ryan and it is Sailor. Here we go. 4-3. This is a big question here. Big question. If Team 1 gets it right, they can close it out. Or it can be all tied up going into the final round. Ryan, do you have what it takes?
No.
Confidence. Love it. Here we go. Oh, what is it? There's an old guy, and a knife, and a young guy, and SOS is like help, or, and then there's a ram, and then it was a close call. Maybe, yeah. What story is that though?
I have no idea.
Is it the one where he tries to kill his son?
Yup, we're taking that. It is Abraham and Isaac, and Abraham went to go, and God had told him to sacrifice his son, right? To sacrifice his son as an offering to God to see if he would trust him. And then at the very last second, he provided a ram, another offering, another sacrifice. Great job, Sailor. We're going to do the last round. Becca, I'm going to have you press pause, and we're going to let Maddie come back up. Maddie against Magnolia, just because it's the last round, and they've already won. We have our last round. You guys can't win, but there is a lot riding on this because you could win this point. Next round, here we go.
The Daniel and the Lions Den.
Boom, crushed it. Nice job, Maddie. Way to go. Daniel in the Lion's Den is absolutely correct. Well done. Nice job. All right, guys, we are about to move into our lesson, and we're going to do one group tonight. All right, so we all kind of need to sit close to each other, but 6 feet apart. Can we make like a octagonal or a pentagon? A pentagon of people. Does that make sense?
What?
So like, Becca, you'll sit right there on the corner, closer to Sailor, but still 6 feet apart. Ryan, you'll sit like on this corner, closer to Magnolia, but still 6 feet apart. And then Maddie, you'll sit right here, kind of closer to the stage, but still 6 feet apart. And now we've got a group, and you guys can actually, Maddie, you can get closer.
Can we take our mask off?
If you're sitting here and you are 6 feet apart, you can absolutely take off your mask. Go ahead and breathe for a little bit. Giant sigh of relief. I love it. Austin, if you want to shift down here and just see if there are people engaged with us, if there's anything we need to talk to anybody down there. So something we do every single week is what? When we do our discussions, what do we call it when we talk about our week? Happy Crappies, yes. So the first thing we're going to do is we tell everyone in our group, and you'll have different groups every time you're together, but generally it'll be guys and girls and maybe another group, depending on how many kids we have. You're going to tell each other the best part of the last week and the worst part of the last week. You're going to take about 2 minutes, so don't take super long, and then we'll come back together in 2 minutes. Go ahead, Becca, start us off. Oh, hold on, press pause on everything because the slushies have arrived. We are going to take 25 seconds for slushie identification while everyone grabs their slushies. Do you need a mask?
Yeah, I've got it in my car.
Here you go. You can use mine. But turn it inside out, like so you don't use the same side that I use.
I'll grab mine in a second.
Okay.
Do this for now.
That's cool.
Okay.
All right. Do you need help?
I know what they are.
Okay.
I just don't want to touch them.
We'll figure this out and we'll bring them, when we call out your name, come grab your slushie, okay? All right, so what do we got?
Okay. Over here, these two are ours, the ones that push down the limeades.
Okay.
Over here is cherry blue raspberry. I think that was Maddie, and then also Sailor had a similar combo. I couldn't put lemonade in ours, but these two are those.
Perfect. Which one is it?
Both, they're the same thing. There's just one has more like. Do either of you have a preference over more cherry versus more blue raspberry? Because they're the same thing. They just have dominance.
Oh, yes.
You know, you care. So these are basically the same thing.
So one's blue raspberry and cherry and the other one's
One's
cherry
cherry
and
and
blue
blue
raspberry. Got it.
And that
And then here's a straw for you.
And then
Perfect.
these are
Grab a straw.
all, oh, got grab your straw. Blue raspberry with one,
Ryan,
there should have been a cherry for that though.
this one is cherry right there.
Yeah, there we go.
Ryan, magnolia, back
One of
up.
these three.
Yep, any of these three right here, they're all the same.
Andrew will get my mask.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
Everybody say thank you, producer Andrea.
Thank you.
Okay, so yours is this one right here. Yep. And then we've got 2 blue raspberries for you two. I'm gonna grab my cherry limeade. Slushy, not a shake. What is going on? Who is ordering all of these slushies? Wow. Good time. Does everyone have a good slushie? Anyone have a bad slushie? Like you all approve of your slushie combination?
Yes.
Oh my, that's so good. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Do you guys think you can focus and drink a slushie at the same time?
Yeah.
Is it possible? I believe in you. So you've got 2 minutes to do Happy Crappies, and then I'll bring us back together in just a sec. All right? Go ahead, start us off, Becca.
Alright, my happy, definitely that we have slushies. And my crappy is that I had a pretty big week this week, so I haven't gotten a chance to rest, but I will once I get home. Now which way do we wanna go? Do you have one or do you have one?
I don't have one yet.
Thanks for being flexible.
And I got yogurt.
Yeah. That's great.
Do you have one?
No, you can keep it on in case someone decides to do it, but we know now that there's not a lot on there.
That's so fun.
Plus, we always leave it up because then people can go back and watch the salt. There's more of that happens. Then they're like, oh, but
My brother can be really annoying too. Any ideas? I get it. That's not good.
is that everybody? Or who's up?
I think that was everyone.
All right, well then let's go ahead and jump right in. Did anyone have like a super happy? Like super happies are like when something is just so good that you just have to tell everyone about it. Magnolia, what happened?
I got a pool.
You got a pool? Oh my goodness, that is a super happy. That's awesome. Anybody else have one that you were like, yeah, this was a great week? Maddie,
I got to go over to my grandma's house.
how long has it been since you got to see her?
Maybe a couple weeks.
Oh, okay, so it hadn't been like the whole pandemic.
No.
Okay, that's really good. But it's still so good that you got to see your grandma. I have not seen my grandma in like 6 months, guys. It's been so long. Because I hadn't seen her for a little bit before the pandemic, and then we just haven't gone to see her since the pandemic. So it's been a long time. But my happy for this week, honestly, it's been a pretty rough week, guys. My happy for this week is I've started going to the gym again. And if you guys know anything about me, that's like a double-sided sword. It's like, yeah, okay, technically that's a happy, but it's also definitely a crappy. And my crappy, guys, is that Swarm is canceled. So that was the biggest bummer of the entire. It's just been.
Biggest bummer in the summer.
It's been a rough couple of months in student ministry. You know, we canceled Swarm, we canceled Generate, we canceled Swarm again, we canceled our Puerto Rico missions trip. So I'm excited for this summer to start doing some fun stuff. We're gonna have some cookouts, not cookouts, but like s'mores and stuff like that, some bonfires. Yeah, good stuff. So I'm excited for that. But that was definitely, it's been a rough week because I've been making phone calls to people to tell them that this awesome event that we all love isn't going to be able to happen. So that was very sad.
Is it postponed?
It is definitely going to happen again. We're not calling it postponed because we don't know when it's going to go back on the schedule, but we will have Swarm again. So fear not, fear not. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pray, and then we're going to jump into our lesson. Lord, thank you for bringing us here tonight. Thank you for each of my friends that is in the room tonight, for their courage and their willingness to come out here and build relationships with people and have some fun. I pray that you would continue to reach our friends online through YouTube and through Facebook, and to, as students feel comfortable, encourage them to come back to youth group together. We know lots of our friends are out traveling, so we want to pray for them as well, that they would be safe, and that you would bring them back to us safe and sound. We love you, and in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, guys, we are wrapping up our lesson, our series on forgiveness tonight. All right, with the last couple weeks, we've been talking about forgiveness, and I have some true and false questions for you guys. I want to know where you guys land. All right, true or false? And this is one of those things that we would like send you to one side of the room if you think this one, or send you to the other side of the room if you think this one. But we all have slushies, so just stay where you're at, because I know slushies are important, and it's difficult to drink a slushie while you're on the move. So go ahead and just raise your hand if you think it's true. If you think it's false, you can just leave your hand down. True or false, Jesus wants me to forgive other people. Wow, nice job. Andrea doesn't think it's true in the back of the room, but it's all right. All right, true or false, I don't have to forgive people if I don't feel like it. Everyone says false. Why is that false? Anyone want to give a guess? Emotions are irrelevant. I would say that is a really great point. Your emotions, though, do mean something. They tell you something about the way that you feel, and so don't ever feel things and say, oh, that's irrelevant. But what you're saying about forgiveness, there is something really powerful and really true about that, because no matter how much someone has hurt my feelings and how they make me feel, God still wants us to forgive them, right? That's great. That's a great point, Ryan. True or false, forgiveness is only a good idea if someone deserves it. So what if someone doesn't deserve it? Should we still forgive them? You guys all got that one right. Forgiveness is to be extended whether or not someone deserves it. After all, I mean, we didn't deserve God's forgiveness, right? So, three more. Forgiveness is tough to do, true or false? Sometimes. Those of you who said maybe not tough to do, why is it easier for you to do? What is easy about forgiving people? What's hard about forgiving people? Maddie? Yeah, right? Anybody else? Why is it hard to forgive people? Magnolia?
Mine is kind of the same. They probably did something really mean to you, and they're just saying one word. They're just saying, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It doesn't, you feel like you deserve more than that, right? Yeah, absolutely. True or false, forgiving another person is just a one-time shot. Like if they mess up, they burn you again, that's it. That bridge has been burned, I'm not forgiving you again. So is it true or false that forgiveness is a one-time shot? False, right? What does Jesus say? How many times does he say we're supposed to forgive each other? Does anyone know?
7 times 70.
Yeah, which is a hypothetical statement, right? So he gave them a number that was so big that the majority of people in that time couldn't even comprehend it, because mathematics wasn't developed. It was like, oh, this huge number, right? And now we look at it and we're like, oh, so 490 times I'm supposed to forgive someone. That's not what he meant, right? He said you should forgive and forgive and forgive until you can't keep track anymore how many times you've forgiven them. What about last one? If I forgive a friend who's hurt me, we don't have to go back to being friends again. True or false? That's a tough one, right? Ryan said true. Andre in the back of the room said true. You guys think you should, and there's some iffiness out there, right? I saw lots of this, right? Now there's sometimes that's going to happen, and you're like, I want to be their friend again, right? And that's great, but that's not always going to be the case, right? Sometimes people get hurt so much that that friendship just can't be restored. Sometimes it's just not possible. We're going to talk about 3 things that God has for us to learn from a passage in Matthew chapter 18. So if you have your Bible, you can turn there. This is a chapter of the Bible that people use all the time to talk about forgiveness. Matthew chapter 18, and we're looking at verses 21 through 25. Through 35, sorry. Almost there. All right, starting in verse 21. Then Peter came to Jesus and asked, Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me? Up to 7 times? We just talked about this, right? Jesus answered, I tell you, not 7 times, but 70 times 7 times. Therefore, the kingdom of heaven is like a king who wanted to settle accounts with his servants. As he began the settlement, a man who owed him 10,000 bags of gold was brought to him. Is 10,000 bags of gold a lot of money or a little bit of money?
A lot.
It's a lot. It's a massive debt that this guy owed. Since he was not able to pay, the master ordered that he and his wife and his children and all that he had be sold to slavery to repay the debt. At this, the servant fell on his knees before him. Be patient with me, he begged, and I will pay back everything. The servant's master took pity on him, canceled the debt, and let him go. So he just has this massive debt just wiped away. Do any of you guys have debt right now? Do you guys understand what that's like? Do you have things that maybe you owe, like your parents or other friends? Like maybe you have to buy someone coffee sometimes. Anyone have anything simple, small like that? I owe that person something. What is it? Magnolia, do you have an example or no?
I owe $5 to my friend.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we're talking about. Sailor? Do you guys owe each other $5? Is that what's going on? No, okay. So this guy, to put this in like your context, and particularly your context, Becca, he had like all of his student loans and more completely forgiven, right? Now, for you guys, that would be like, I don't know. Do you guys even spend money on things? What do you guys spend money on right now? Maddie?
Well, I don't really save it, but occasionally I maybe sometimes I have to come.
Okay, so this would be like if you really had a craving and you talk to a friend and you're like, hey, can you buy me 10,000 packs of gum? And I'll pay you back, I promise. And so then your friend is like, okay, that's fine, buys you these 10,000 packs of gum. How long would it take you to save up to buy 10,000 packs of gum, Maddie? Years, right? Long time.
Depends how much you repay.
And then your friend, you come back and you're like, oh guys, I cannot repay this debt. Please, I don't know what to do. And your friend forgives you for 10,000 packs of gum, 10,000 bags of gold, right? But then, when the servant went out, he found one of his fellow servants who owed him 100 silver coins. Now, 100 silver coins would be like, to stay with our example, it would be like a stick of gum. It would be like one piece of gum. And so Maddie turns around, I'm using you as an example here, knowing you would never do something like this. Your friend has just forgiven you this 10,000 packs of gum debt, right? And you're like, this is amazing. And then you turn around and you see your other friend. She sees her other friend who borrowed a stick of gum from her. And what does she say? What happens? He grabbed him and began to choke him. He just had this massive debt forgiven. And then he sees his friend and he grabs him and starts to choke him, Pay back what you owe me, he demanded. His fellow servant fell to his knees and begged him, be patient with me, I will pay it back. But he refused. Instead, he went off and had the man thrown into prison until he could pay the debt. Then what do you guys think happened? Now his friend's in prison, he's had this massive debt forgiven. Ryan, what happens?
The guy in prison probably never got paid off because he never paid.
Yeah, he's in prison, right? But then the other servants start to talk about what just happened. And word gets back to the king. The word gets back to the king, the friend who gave back 10,000 gold coins, right? 10,000 packs of gum. Word gets back to them. And how do you think that made him feel? What did the king think about what that guy had done? He was furious. And he called the servant. He said, you wicked servant, I canceled all of that debt of yours because you begged me to. Shouldn't you have had mercy on your fellow servant just as I had on you? In anger, his master handed him over to the jailers to be tortured until he should pay back all he owed. Now I gotta put this story in perspective for you guys, okay? This story isn't about our friends who forgive us and then the friends that we go and forgive. The king in this story is God. The king in this story is Jesus Christ, who has already forgiven us of this massive debt, a debt that we had no hope of ever repaying, right? So we're that person. We are the person that owes so much more than we can ever repay. But then what's the other thing? The other thing in this story, this one piece of gum, this 100 silver coins, those are offenses, arguments, disagreements that we have with people all around us. Anytime you have conflict in your life, think of that pack of gum. In comparison to the 10,000 gold coins that we've already been forgiven. That's what this story is trying to show us. That when we are offended, when we feel like we're owed something, we should remember it in light of what Jesus has done for us. We're going to talk here for just a second. My question is, why is it sometimes easy to forgive other people, but other times it's really difficult? Why is it sometimes easy? Why is it really difficult? Talk about it for like 60 seconds and then we'll come back together. Go.
Yep. I agree. Anyone else have anything?
What do you think, Austin?
What's the question?
Also, your teeth are so blue right now.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Does anyone else? Oh my gosh, look at Ryan's tongue. Guys, look at your tongue. Teeth, anyone? No? So I heard different situations. What else? Why is it easy to forgive some people? What's a situation where it would be easy to forgive someone? What do you think, Maddie?
Well, like somebody just like do something not like just cause you pain. It's kind of easy to forgive when they really apologize.
Yeah, right? It's a small thing, right? What about when it's hard? What's a situation that would be hard to forgive somebody?
If they blew up your house.
Yes, if they blew up your house, it would be very difficult to forgive that person, right? Another example of a time it would be difficult to forgive somebody. When they steal from you. What else?
Kill your dog.
Oh, this is going a dark direction.
Great.
That's a great answer, though. Guys, here's the reality. Because of sin, we owe God a debt we can never repay, right? But no matter how big those other things that happen to us, where we have have been offended or hurt by somebody, no matter how big those things are, God tells us to forgive. Isn't that that's staggering to me to think about. I had a friend when I was in college. Her name was Gabby, and she had a sister, an older sister who I never met. And when I met her, we were friends and all this great stuff, and then she started to tell me that her sister had been killed by a drunk driver when she was like 16. And the guy had a parole hearing coming up, and so she was going to go. And she went to this hearing, and across the courtroom is this guy that killed her sister. Can you imagine what that must have been like? This guy, because he was doing a terrible thing, killed her sister, who had nothing. He was just driving her car. And she sat across the courtroom from him, and she looked him dead in the eye and said, "I forgive you, and Jesus loves you." Isn't that's insane, guys? But that is what this passage is telling us. It's telling us that God has forgiven us something so big, so amazing, we could never even repay it. So in light of that, we can be strong enough to forgive the person that has done terrible things to us. Now, what does that mean? Like we talked about, it doesn't mean we have to be friends with them. It doesn't mean we have to like them. But it does mean we need to forgive them, because that is what God did to us. Forgiving people is tough, guys. God chooses to forgive that debt if we accept forgiveness through Jesus. But then we, in turn, need to turn around. If we, in turn, look to other people and don't forgive them who hurt us, we're acting just like the guy in this parable. We gladly accept God's forgiveness of a huge debt, but we refuse to forgive another person's much smaller debt. Forgiving other people is tough, but it is what God calls us to do as a Christ follower. So the first thing to remember is that forgiving other people is tough. The second thing is that forgiving other people helps us grow closer to Christ. Forgiving other people helps us grow closer to Christ. It reflects His heart and His desire for the world and our lives, because that is how God treated us. He came down from heaven and laid down His life so that He could forgive us. When we then turn and forgive others, that is a picture of what God wants to do in the world through us. It reflects Jesus' heart. We grow closer to Jesus when we hang out with Him, but also when we do things that matter to Him. When we forgive other people, that is something that matters to Jesus, so much so that He died for it. That is a part of who Jesus is, and that is how He wants us to live our lives to our friends. So forgiving other people helps us grow closer to Jesus. And the last thing tonight is forgiving other people honors Jesus. Why? That's a good question, actually. What does it look like in your everyday life to honor Jesus? And this is a big question, broad, so many different answers. In your everyday life, what does it look like to honor Jesus? Talk about it in your group, not your table. There's no table there. For like 30 seconds, what does it look like to honor Jesus in your everyday life? Go. Lots of great answers I heard just there. Honoring God, honoring Jesus with our lives, looks like doing the right thing when it's hard. It looks like forgiving people that don't deserve it. It looks like being obedient to our parents, right? But all of these things reflect a part of who Jesus is. And we want our lives to reflect all of who Jesus is. We'll always fail. I will still get offended and hurt by people, right? That's not ever going to change. But what can change is the way that we respond to that in light of what Jesus has done for us. Forgiving other people is a form of worship. I heard someone over here say worship. And living our lives in a manner that is pleasing to God is a form of worship. That's what it means to honor Jesus. We honor and worship Jesus by living wisely, by helping and serving people, by loving people, and by forgiving people. So when there is something that happens in your life that hurts you or wounds you or something terrible happens, it is perfectly normal to feel that pain, to feel bitterness, to feel anger. But what Christ tells us to do is to let that go and forgive. Are there situations in your life right now that you need to let go of? That you need to forgive someone for? This is kind of a silly example, but I need to let go of my bitterness and resentment towards the coronavirus and all of the things happening in the world right now. The whole way that the world is. I'm so frustrated with it. Now that's not the same as being frustrated with a person. It's not the same as being broken by life situations, but God doesn't want us to carry bitterness, pain, and anger. He wants us to set that free, to turn that over to Him. So if there are things in your life, there are people that really irritate you and are difficult to live with, let those go. Let God have them and forgive those people. Will you guys pray with me? Lord, thank you. Thank you for what you're doing in our lives and in the world around us. And I just pray that you would help us to see the people that we don't like, to see the people that have offended us, the people that have broken our hearts, the people that have wounded us. I pray that you would help us to love them like you love us in this massive debt that we can never repay. That you would give us the strength to turn those things free, to forgive the people that have hurt us, because that is how you have treated us. That's how you love us. We love you, Lord, and make us more like you every single day. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys. Before we play the second round of our game tonight, I want to have a brainstorming session. Can we have a brainstorming session? Do you guys like brains? Do you guys like storms? Do you guys know what I mean when I say brainstorming, right? Is anyone out there?
No.
Oh, man.
My brain actually.
So I want to know what would be so awesome to do this summer before we go back to school as Lyco. What would be like 10 out of 10 amazing, super fun?
Sounds like then nothing would be very good.
Wow. Should we like throw water balloons off the roof of the building and try and hit Ken? Should we? Okay, so that's a step in the right direction. What if we did a drive-by pelt Ken with water balloons event? Like you guys all brought your water balloons and Ken just stood on the sidewalk and you launched water balloons at me from your car.
Would the seniors be able to bring silly string again?
Saltco is a whole nother animal. We're getting there with Saltco, but yes, of course.
Squirt guns.
Squirt guns. I mean, so the thing about water is we just have to be careful about exposure. But if you guys all bring your stuff and you throw it at me, and it's not at everyone, that's totally fine. You know, that's just me, and you guys all stay safe, and I would probably stay safe too, because you know. Huh?
And you get to suffer.
And I get to suffer. Exactly right. Exactly right. So maybe some water balloon shenanigans will happen this summer. What else should we do this summer?
Bonfire.
We can go on to the roof.
No. That was a extreme hypothetical joke to get you guys thinking. But I'm gonna move on. Ryan, I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
I think the bonfire thing will be fun.
Yeah, bonfire would be really cool, right? Should we roast hot dogs or s'mores?
Both.
Both. Boom. Write it down. What else would be fun? I'd love to hear from you two back there. What would be super fun to do this summer that you think Jory and Jesse and gosh, there's so many people. And then all the Lorelai, Annie. There's a whole bunch of sixth graders now that have come up too that would be like, and Thomas Wagner, right? All the guys, right? So many people that we could get all of them to come to. What would it be? What would that thing be? What? Paint Wars? Oh my gosh, Paint Wars would be so much fun, wouldn't it? I wonder if there's a way we can do that and social distance and be safe. I'll think about it. I'll try and put my...
Make a revised version.
Yeah. 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 Paint Wars would be awesome. I can't wait till we can do Paint Wars again. That is just so much fun. Maybe one more idea. One more, like, throw it on the thumbtack in Ken's brain board. That's a board, right? Yeah.
I kind of have an idea, but it makes no sense.
Those are the best ideas.
Right. If we could do something like for the church service.
Yeah.
This is just an idea. We're probably not going to do this exactly, but like decorate the stage or something like that.
Okay. That's a cool idea.
Or have Pastor Kevin wear bunny ears.
There's another interesting idea. What if he just wore like a student ministry t-shirt, like the Salty and Lit t-shirt? And every 5 minutes in his sermon he had to say, you know what you guys should do? You should go to Lyco.
That's advertising. You don't want to advertise. We want to make Pastor Kevin look funny.
You're right. I was off track.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is we need like a bunny costume that has salt code, light code written on it.
Boom! Now we're talking. I love it. If I wore a like customized inflatable dinosaur suit that said like Salty and Lit or something like that, I think I know what I'm going to spend my birthday money on. Boom.
Sounds expensive.
I mean, I know some friends who could do some embroidering, so
On an inflatable suit?
It's $60 for the dinosaur suits.
oh, you've already researched it?
Well, okay. I've been looking into doing something stupid for when I skateboard around town.
That would probably go viral. So if you know, everybody loves those dinosaur suits. All right. Here's what we're gonna do. We've got another round of. I've got those things locked away in the Ken vault.
But there's a key.
Huh?
There's a key.
Nope. Nope. I can't tell you that because then you would know, and you'd go get all of the best ideas from the Ken vault. We are gonna do another round of emoji hunt. I think is what it's called. Also, there's a version of this game where you have to be the first person to text me a series of 5 random emojis that come up on the screen. It's very fun because they're emojis that no one uses and no one knows where they are. So everyone's like frantically looking through their phones. We'll play that sometime. But this one is just like the first round we played, except it is movies. So it is emojis that describe a movie. Let's do, are you gonna run it up there? Producer Andrea?
Is it up here?
It is up there.
I got you.
All right. It is the Emoji at the Movies one in the playlist. It's just like,
Got it.
yeah, perfect. Love it. All right, so this one's, and we're just going to shout it out as a group. We want to see how many, or we should do a competition.
Yeah,
Should we do a
competition,
Should we do a competition? Should we mix up the teams?
Yes. Yeah.
No, no. The deciding vote goes to Becca. Should we mix them up or no?
I don't care.
Oh! All right, here's what we're going to do. We are not going to mix up teams because it's a different category. We'll see how you guys do. Are you ready? We need, and you can just stay exactly where you're at. You don't have to get up. We're going to do Sailor against Maddie, round 1. Looking at the screens. Can you guys see from there?
It just get harder as it goes.
Oh, they get really hard.
Okay.
So just start at the top and work your way straight down because Austin has to do the same thing online. All right, here we go. First one.
Charlotte's Web. Oh!
Spider-Man is correct. I could totally see Charlotte's Web though. I think you have to press reveal answer or something like that.
No.
No?
It just says clear.
Oh. Was it like that for the other one? Because it
What?
came up on the bottom when you...
Answer is in the bottom right.
Intriguing. It is Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, you're just...
Oh, wait, I got it.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes, Spider-Man. All right.
Transparent.
We are... You look very uncomfortable up there. Are you like slid all the way over? There, okay. I was concerned about like your back. You were like, ugh. Anyway.
So weird.
Magnolia, Ryan, you guys are up. Round 2. Team 1 is up by 1. Nice job jumping out too early. Who had that first? Ryan did. Nice job, sir. Lion King. It is 1-1. Well done. All right, back over here. All tied up.
Star Knights? Star Wars? Star Swords?
I think I heard it.
I heard.
Star Wars.
Yep.
Okay. Boom. Nice job. Who said it? Was that Sailor? Nice job. Star Wars. That's a clever one. That's not. I think they could have used more emojis to describe it. That would have helped me out. But because I don't look at the swords and think, oh, that's a war. You know? What if it's just a decoration in someone's house? I don't know. 2-1. Team number 1. Magnolia, Ryan. Round 2. Here we go.
Dumbo.
Is that it?
No.
Oh. That I can totally see that being done though.
This one's a hard one.
Yeah. It does look like it should be.
Can you give us a hint?
Dr. Seuss.
Horton here's a who. Nice job. It is now 3-1. I can see it now. Because that would be like the little fluff that it's on, the thought bubble. Very nice. Well done. Alright, we're going to mix it up. Magnolia, you're going to go again, but this time you're going against Maddie. Maddie against Magnolia. Oh, look at all those emojis. There's so many of them. Here we go.
Wizard of Oz? Oh, Cinderella.
Cinderella is correct. Because there's
I saw the mice.
that's Cinderella and her fairy godmother. She turns her into a princess. The mice turn into horses. She has to be back by midnight, and she lost her slipper. Wow, walked you right on through the whole thing. All right, Ryan against Sailor. You guys are up 4-1. 4-1 or 3-1?
Some of these are like, you're gonna teach me motives.
Uh-oh.
Or two.
Well, we'll see how this goes. If we need hints, we can give out hints until, as you see fit back there. Oh, wow.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
Airplane.
It's a guy that loses his beach ball with
Yeah, I'm going to take that right there. That movie is called Castaway with,
his best friend's the beach ball.
yes. What's his name? Tom Hanks.
Isn't it?
It is Tom Hanks. You are absolutely right. That's a fantastic movie. Yeah, his handprint is on it and goes, Wilson! Such a, oh, man. Wow, I'm surprised you've seen that. That is an old movie. That came out in the 90s, guys. That's a classic, though. It If you like movies, that's one you really need to see. All right, they're crushing it right now. Becca, you're gonna jump onto this team again. They're up 5-1. You are going up against Sailor. Wow. 8 emojis.
Yeah.
I think I know it.
Yeah.
What's the emoji next to the 8 ball? I can't see it.
Horse or hands.
An ant, okay. It's too dark, I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
A pretty nondescript bug, particularly here, right?
I wouldn't say that was an ant.
Yeah.
Think of it as a bug of some kind. It's a Disney movie.
Does it start with a P?
Yes.
Oh, it's Pinocchio.
It is Pinocchio, yes. Because there's the guy and he wishes on the star, and then Jiminy Cricket
Oh.
is right there. I don't remember what the 8 ball
Yeah, I
is
don't know
for.
what the 8 ball is.
Oh, because they were playing pool when he turned into the donkey.
Oh, yeah. And then he ends up in the whale, right? Good stuff. All right, so it's 5-2. Who just went there? Sailor just went, right? All right, Magnolia against Maddie. Oh, look at all these. Oh.
Oh, I know one.
Darn it, what's it called? I know what it is.
The same day of Christmas?
No.
Christmas in July.
No.
It's another old one.
I know what it is.
It's a twinkle in your turtle's eye. Can I say what letter starts with?
Flag Day?
No. That's a good answer, though.
Yes.
It starts with a G. It is on the tip of Ryan's tongue.
Grandpa?
It is a holiday that usually falls in February or March. It is Groundhog Day. Yes, Groundhog Day. Nice job. Guys, that's a really funny movie. Not terribly appropriate, but very funny. All right. We're at Ryan and Sailor. Here we go.
Blind Witch. Sorry, not Blind Witch. Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
I was
That's
gonna say
absolutely
right there.
correct. Nice job. That one is actually one of the most descriptive set of emojis that any of these have been so far. You've got the girl, whisked away, the house, obviously, the rainbow, the robot, yeah, all the stuff. Wow, good stuff. Nice job. I don't know why there's a shoe. There really should be ruby slippers, like the red slippers would have been better there. I know there's an emoji for red slippers, so.
Yeah.
That's what was for Cinderella.
Exactly. Wow. Maddie, back up. It's 6-3. Huh.
Oh, I know it.
What's it?
This is a musical note right here.
Okay.
We used to
Oh!
like
I figured out what it is.
Tangled?
Yeah.
No.
Who said it? What'd you say?
I said Rapunzel.
Yeah, so it is Rapunzel.
Oh.
But we're going to take that because you said it first. It's the story of Rapunzel.
Anyone know what the eggs are? Because I don't. The
Because
frying
he's
pan.
frying
Oh,
pan, yeah.
I saw
Uh,
egg and I'm like, okay,
There's
there's
a
an
frying
egg.
pan emoji, I think.
what?
There's a frying pan emoji, I think.
I think there is. I think they don't want it to be too easy, is the thing, which is confusing. So you guys got another one at 7. We're gonna call it 7-4. How many are left up there? There's 3 left. All right, 3 left, which means we need to go to double point round for team 2 to have a chance. All of these points are worth 2. It is 7-4. 2 points on the board. It is fair play. Anyone can shout it out at any time. So once it comes up, anyone can shout it out. Here we go.
Up.
Wow.
Nice.
Up is correct. Nice job. That was instantaneous. Well done, sir. It is now 7-6. It's almost like I thought out this point sequencing because now we can't end in a tie. Like someone's gonna win. It's wow, great job,
Oh,
Ken.
good job, Ken.
Only 4 emojis for this movie. Again, shout it out when you know it.
Home Alone.
Yep.
Wow.
Whoa! How is that Home Alone?
Because
The
What was the burglar?
It's the blonde face, the house that he says.
And the face that he makes when he screams.
Right.
Wow, when he puts the hands on his face with the aftershave, that was so good. Wow. All right, it is 8-7, the final round. Let's see who is going home victorious.
Charlie the Chocolate Factory. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Was that a tie?
I think it was Charlie. Whoever yelled Charlie the chocolate.
I did.
Yeah, it was Hershey.
Guys, that was too difficult to judge. Here's what we need to do. It was you both were right on it. She said Willy Wonka, you said Charlie. Can we go to one of the trivia games and let me know whichever one you want to do? I think there's like a llama trivia one or something like that.
Whoa.
We're gonna do llama trivia.
Library or recent?
Go to library, and trivia is all the way down at the bottom.
it's in the recents, or is it Llama Drama?
Llama drama trivia. And let's do question. Oh, we're not going to do that one. Let's do question number 4 arbitrarily. I don't know which one that is. We've got the title screen up.
I love llamas.
Here's what's going to happen, okay? You need to raise your hand when you want to submit an answer. Once you've submitted an answer, you are out if you get it wrong. You can't submit a second answer. Got it? If you get it right, your team wins the 2 points, and you guys win. So, no, it's instantaneous. It's very fast paced. Here we go. Question ready to go live. I will need help judging on this, guys. So help me out because you guys will have a better view. I'll be trying to read. How much does an average adult llama weigh? 100 to 200 pounds, 200 to 300 pounds, 300 to 400 pounds, or 400 to 500 pounds? Who was first? Right here? Ryan.
I think 200 to 300 pounds.
Now hold on. This is for the win.
Oh.
Are you sure 200 to 300 pounds?
Yes.
Is that the correct answer? It is incorrect. We have, so Ryan, you are no longer able to submit an answer. Next, we've got Magnolia.
I'll say 300.
300 to 400 pounds. Is that the correct answer for the win? It is! Nice job, team number 1. 300 to 400 pounds is the average adult llama. Guys, is my shirt pretty awesome or what?
Oh my gosh,
It's
no.
a llama. It's a llama legend. Anyway, that's why we did llama trivia. It is just about 8 o'clock, so we are gonna head upstairs. We are gonna, because we've got 5 minutes, so here is what we're gonna do until then.
Is there Gaga Ball?
We cannot play Gaga Ball, and here is why. Are you ready? Here's what happens when we play Gaga Ball. I hit the ball with my hand, and then it bounces on the ground. Not really a problem. And then it goes over to Sailor. Now Sailor's playing the game because she's beast at Gaga Ball, and she hits the ball with her hand. Now, at that point, not that big a deal. Maybe we touch different parts of the ball. She hits a missile right at Ryan's face. Hits him right in the face. What is now potentially on Ryan's face?
Blood.
Yes!
And germs.
But also germs. So, I am looking at ways that we can modify either the Gaga Pit or the game itself so that we can play Gaga Ball. But for right now, until we get better at doing Lyco, we can't have snack bar. Which you don't even know what snack bar is.
It's a snack bar?
Oh my goodness, guys.
I just came here. Don't look at me like
Can
that.
someone explain for Maddie the glorious thing that is snack bar?
You pretty much already said it yourself.
It is a bar that has snacks at it. You are correct. for free. And tonight you got a slushie, which is like actually better than most of what we have at the snack bar. But we have like Skittles, Starbursts, cans of soda, ice cream, especially in the summer. Oh my goodness, things that you can purchase for like discounted rates. Like it's a quarter or it's 2 quarters. It's great. So tonight you all are the MVG. But yeah, if we are not having snack bar, then MVG will probably kick back up when we do stuff like bonfires and stuff like that.
What is that?
Someone want to explain to Maddie what the MVG is?
Most likely.
So close. MVP would be player. G stands for
Gamer.
group. The most valuable group. So tonight is not a great picture of what Lyco typically looks like because there's only a handful of you guys here, but typically we have like 4 groups during the school year when everyone's coming and there's no pandemic and the world is normal. We would have like an 8th grader group and a 7th grader group and a 6th grader group and then another one of those each for guys and girls, so we would have like 6 groups, 4 to 6 groups. And that MVG is the group that listens the best, that has the most insightful things to say during our group discussion times, and that is just generally that night the most awesome. And how many times in a row did like your guys' group win MVG? It was like, it was all the time. I'm pretty sure in 6 months worth of Lyco meetings, you probably won like 5 months worth of MVG. You guys were dominant, like as dominant as you guys have been at Family Feud. It's just.
Ooh, we should do like a little feud like that.
She's gonna fit in great, isn't she, guys? She's awesome. We play Family Feud all the time. You're gonna have fun here, Maddie. I love it. All right, guys. It is almost 8. It's like 7:59. We're gonna head upstairs, back through the out that way. Grab some hand sanitizer on your way. Mask up. Take your slushies with you, or you can throw them away over in the trash can over there. We are gonna sign off over here. So for those of you that tuned in online, and those of you that come back and watch later, make sure you tune in every week, Wednesday night at 6:30. We're also in person at Ginger Creek, and we will see you next week.